Hello everyone, I'm Anne Marie Brown and I am now in the Well 440 class with all of you, and I hope we can all understand and get to know each other well and see how good we get at our projects that we have to start thinking about. I've been thinking about my project for a while, and I've actually tried to do two ventures in the last year. I tried to go in the Alzheimer's Association, which took about 6 months and didn't work out. And I also was attempting the American Heart Association, which didn't work out also. So I'm sitting here with the thoughts that I had by doing the organizations and picking up some volunteer type work, that now I have to go a different route. And some of my ideas that I'm thinking of, I have two perspective areas. I work in healthcare. I also am a senior in the Health Service Administration, Health Science. I will be walking next month and I will have my degree at the end of July. So I'm starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel. What you're seeing is a picture that I took, and I like to take pictures. I do photography. My passions, I know, is what we have to kind of bring up. And one of my passions is taking photos of my garden, my trees, flowers, natural kind of things, animals, even bugs. I like bees. Bees are a huge part of my life. I grow flowers to help the butterflies and the bees pollinate. As you know, we have to kind of encourage that now with some of the things getting destroyed and the bee population dropping. So I'm either going to choose going towards a similar project that I went when my son was a senior. We did some work with the West Mass Elder Care, made Valentines through a program called DoSomething.org, and my son and his hockey team were able to be eligible for scholarships through this program by working and making what were called love letters, and they were dispersed for Valentine's Day. They were able to make over 700. So we made the register in Chicopee. We've made quite a well-known project throughout Chicopee. So I'm thinking of doing something towards that I did before, and contacting West Mass Elder Care, using my photography somehow and creating a project that way. I've kind of got some thoughts. My second one that I might do may end up being towards going with animals, and maybe like a bee study, what's going on with bees and the lack of our flowers and things to keep the bees going. So that's another area that I'm thinking of. The picture that you see on the screen is actually from my garden last fall. That's a toad lily, and I did get a lot of little bumblebees that fly around it. And I love to take pictures of this kind of photo where you're seeing a lot going on and you have the natural elements. And it just gives me a lot of passion and enjoyment. So it truly brings out something that I enjoy doing, especially while I've been in school for the last 2 years and haven't really had much time to do a lot of enjoyment from a personal level and with my family. So it's kind of limited me, and I know photography and being able to get out in the yard has made a big difference. What excites me about the Well Course 440 is that I can express myself in certain ways and learn certain things and learn to be a good leader and be self-directed and figuring out what's going to be something that can be successful for me to show the college and myself that I did in a project that is in a short time, that can prove a lot of what skills I've learned over the last few years and how I can improve myself and go to the next level, hopefully when I graduate and acquire a new job in a certain field. This is just a little picture I took of a bee that was on my deck, and that's pollen all over him, and I thought he was pretty cool. So I took his picture, and I thought it'd be good to show as part of another my ideas that I'm thinking of doing. I have a few concerns with the course coming up. Actually, I have a lot of concerns, but A few that come to my mind are, of course, our time management, making sure working 40 hours a week, that I'm going to be able to do all the tasks and the assignments. Hopefully, we have to have a mentor, or it's a TAM, and I don't have the paper in front of me, but it is a type of mentor that is required. It also just making sure I get my paper done on time. I think time management is mostly what I'm concerned about, and hopefully finding that specific person that we need to guide us through and get us through this whole project that's going to be coming up in the next 6 to 8 weeks. We actually are, I believe, going to get a break towards the week of graduation, which will be nice. That'll help spread it out. I always try to do some of my work even if we're not working or having required materials that week. Just to go over, my picture that I took here was taken in Gloucester last summer. I was on a boat cruise with my mom, a lobster cruise. It was really a lot of fun. And I managed to get this really pretty cloud with the sailboat. It came out really good. So I was proud of that picture. It was kind of done with I think I just did it with my phone and it came out really special. So I thought I'd throw it in there for you to look at while I talk. Addressing some of the concerns of what I mentioned with time management is probably making sure that I've done throughout the last 2 years is to do a little bit of work every day. Make sure that I always have a certain time that I start my work at night. I try not to go over too much. And honestly, there's been nights, especially in the last few months, that I fall asleep doing work. So I don't want to get myself overtired. I had a few health issues that came up in the past 6 months. So it's time management and learning to handle what you got to do as you got to do it. I plan on taking some time off from work. I'm hoping my manager will approve it to be able to contact some of the resources, which is, I know, one of our next questions, and follow through with some of the people that I'm going to have to contact. I know I'm probably going to have to talk to a beekeeper if I do the bee project. If I go with Westmaster Elder Care, I do know the executive director. I'm hoping it's still the same woman, but I do know how to get contacts there. So those are the two, some of the concerns and things that I have to think about, which are my main problems would be like, again, the time management. I was 32 hours a year, actually last December, and unfortunately my job was consolidated, so I had to go to a 40-hour position, and not getting that extra day off makes a difference, but I've made it work this far. So I think with everybody, it's always time management. Hopefully we'll get through this. It sounds like it's going to take a little more time than maybe some of the other classes. So, and I take one day at a time too. I just go for what I have to get through that day and try to organize myself, but just think about it day by day and try not to be overwhelmed. So this is my little discussion. I decided to do it through the Screenomatic, which I did for my last course. It's helping me to be more comfortable talking to people and opened up a whole new perspective instead of just writing. Sometimes I can think what I'm saying and just say it, and it's a little easier than having to write everything out. I hope I answered everything that I need to. Didn't take too long for everybody. And this is another little butterfly that I grabbed right by my back door last summer. He was pretty cool. He had a little torn wing, but I love the colors on him and the markings. So I wish everybody luck, and I hope to hear other stories from the students. And hello to the professor. I'll be looking forward to talking to you too. Have a good evening. Thank you.